In the Bible, we find one of the most beautiful appeal from God. It says, "Today, if you hear His voice, harden not your heart." Would you like to spend this day with God? Listen to this devotional.
This Day with God, a devotional by Ellen G. White. Shield of Protection. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. John 1 verse 11. He who purchased the human family with his own blood charges as done to himself any insult offered to a child of his. His law is to extend the shield of divine protection over every soul who puts his trust in him. Christ's denunciations, the woes that he pronounced, were followed by exclamations of the deepest sorrows. Just before his crucifixion, he beheld the city of Jerusalem and wept over it, saying, "If thou hast known, even thou at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace." Luke 19 verse 42. Then he paused. They had come to the crest of Olivet, and the disciples, catching sight of Jerusalem, were about to burst forth unto exclamations of praise. But they saw that their teacher, in the place of being joyful, was in an agony of tears. Christ was approaching the end of his mission, and he knew that when that time should come, Jerusalem's day of probation would have ended. But he was reluctant to pronounce the words of doom. For 3 years he had come seeking fruit and finding none. During these years, one object was ever upon his soul: to present before his thankless, disobedient people the solemn warnings and gracious invitations of heaven. He greatly desired that the people should receive his words. How graciously he had invited them, how anxiously he had labored to awaken in their hearts the comprehension that he was the only hope of Israel, the promised Messiah. His life work was to convince his disobedient people that he was their only hope. He carried them on his heart. He did all that he could do to save them. But at the end of his work in this world, he was forced to say, in an agony of tears, "Ye would not come unto me, that ye might have life." The cloud of divine wrath was gathering over Jerusalem. Christ saw the city beleaguered. He saw it lost. In a voice full of tears, he exclaimed, "If thou hast known, even thou at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now are they hid from thine eyes." I present this feeble representation to those who are today going over the same ground, refusing the messages of the grace of God.